Hello ladies and gentlemen, this is Runestone and we're going to be exploring today the top 10 ninja. There are actually quite a few ninjas in the magic world, but they're only in the recent sense. There are actually none in the old series. So let's begin with the top 10 ninja. And now, at number 10, we have Snatcher from Plane Chase Anthology, and as you can see, it's a common. This card is really cool. It's at number 10 because it's, well, a rat ninja. It's really cool. It's not even a human, and its ability is whenever Snatcher deals combat damage to a player, exile up to 2 target cards from that player's graveyard. Again, 2 mana for that 2/1, pretty standard, and this ability is really good if you're playing a graveyard retrieval deck, but other than that, it's not that great. But it is on the list because we are talking about ninjas, but overall, this card is not that good at all. I'd rather play some other cards. So let's begin with number 9 now. So the next card we have is Asres Smokeshaver from the Modern Horizon series, and it is a common, as you can see. And as you can see as well, its ability is when it enters the battlefield, target creature control gains indestructible until end of turn. Again, this is why it's number 9, not number 3 or 4, is because it only has that ability once it enters play, and it costs 4 mana for a 3/3. That's just not that good. Unless you have something that can pump this ninja up or something, it's not very an impressive card. But that ability, indestructible, could be helpful for that one turn, so who knows. So let's move on to number 8. And next on the list is Moonblade Shinobi from Modern Horizons, and it is a common. The reason why it's at number 8 is because it costs 4 mana for this 3/2, which is not very impressive, while the ability says it whenever Moonblade Shinobi deals damage to combat damage to a player, create a 1/1 blue illusion creature token with flying. That is very good if you can somehow damage that person, but at 4 mana, chances are very unlikely that this 3/2 human ninja is going to be able to do damage to the opponent. But again, who knows? So let's move on to number 7. And then next we have is Throatslitter from Plane Chase Anthology, and it is an uncommon. That's really cool because we've been talking about commons. And when it deals damage to a player, destroy target non-black creature that player controls. Very impressive, but it costs 5 mana for that 2/2. How are you going to get that card through? I don't know. And again, non-black creature, you have to be not playing against a black creature deck. So it's very limited, so again, this can be very powerful if you can somehow get this creature to be unblocked, phasing with burn, and deals damage to a player. This card is very, very good. Let's move on to number 6. So next we have is Okiba Gang Shinobi from Plane Chase Anthology, and it is a common, and it's a really cool picture. As you can see, it's a rat ninja. Again, like most of these ninjas that are already seen on the list, it costs 5 mana for 3/2. Just ouch, that's just too much mana. But its ability is when it deals combat damage to a player, that player discards 2 cards. If you look on the positive side, by the time you get this out, most likely your opponent or other players have lost half their cards. So when you do damage and discard 2 cards, theoretically the player can lose their hand. So let's move on to the next one at number 5. And at number 5 we have Ninja of the Deep Hours. Like every other ninja, I'm going to mention it. It costs 4 mana for this 2/2. So most ninjas cost a lot for just a low ability of attack, but I guess they are ninjas. That's why they have these cool abilities. So it says whenever Ninja of the Deep Hours deals combat damage to a player, you may draw a card. I think that is very good because I believe any card that gives you extra cards to draw is very good because you're always going to need cards to play. The more cards you can play, especially later in the game, you have like 10 land in play, you can use that extra card. This is why it's at number 5. So let's move on to number 4. And at number 4 we have Fallen Shinobi, and it's actually a zombie ninja. And guess what? It's from Modern Horizons, and it's a rare. It's the first rare ninja that we've seen on the list. And its ability is, whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player exiles the top 2 cards of their library. Until end of turn, you may play those cards without paying their mana cost. Let alone 5 mana for a 5/4 actually seems pretty standard. And at that point, that is very cool because you're going to have a lot of land in play by that point, theoretically. And you can exile those cards. So that is really cool. you can play those cards without paying their mana costs. Just wow. Hopefully you can draw a really good card when this happens. And this is why it's not number 1, believe it or not. It's at number 4. So let's move on to number 3. And at number 3 we have Sakishimasu Student from Plane Chase Anthology, and it is a rare as well. It costs 4 mana, which is really cool, and it has a lot of blue, which is rare for a ninja. And its ability is you may have him enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it is a ninja in addition to other creature types. So basically, that's really cool because it's going to be like a clone, and it only costs 4 mana to do. Could be useful for short term, long term, or any kind of an ability. In general, that's a really cool card. But let's move on to number 2. And at number 2, we have Yuriko, the Tiger Shadow from Commander 2018, and it's a rare. And not only that, it's a legendary creature, human ninja. Again, with the blue-black, which is really cool. Costs 1/3 for this 3 mana casting creature. It says, whenever a ninja you control deals combat damage to a player, reveal the top card of your library and put that card into your hand. Each opponent loses life equal to that card's converted mana cost. Really cool. You want to build a ninja deck, but again, some ninjas are very expensive, so that's why you can build the ninja deck around this. Maybe they lose 5 life, and you keep pumping out ninjas non-stop with this in play. Very, very good. And it's a really cool picture. I really like that. I'm very impressed with that. But we're going to move on to number 1, because this is the best one out of them all. And at number 1, we have Phantom Ninja from Modern Horizons. And it is a common, that's right. I think this is personally the best ninja out there. It's an illusion ninja that cannot be blocked. Costs 3 mana for a 2/2, but it cannot be blocked. This is why it's at number 1. Can't be blocked. It's already part of the creature itself, so you don't have to add enchantments or anything. This is why I think it's very impressive. You want to have 4 of those out that can't be blocked, even pumped. You pump them up, still can't be blocked. I think this is just an amazing card. So I hope you like the top 10 ninja, and I hope you guys have a good day and a good evening.